Okay, hello. Today I'm going to explain you some NPTEL assignment questions on Verilog. So you can go to NPTEL website and check the questions there. Solutions are also available. Okay, so we will start from question 1. So the question 1 is, which of the following statement is true for Verilog modules? So we will go one by one. So first one is, a module can contain definition of other modules. Okay, so this is not allowed in Verilog. Let's go. I'm writing one module. Okay, let module adder, then end module. So inside this, you cannot write definition of any other modules. It is not accepted in Verilog. What you can do, you can only instantiate another module. Let I am designing a 4-bit adder. Right here, I can instantiate 1-bit full adder 4 times, like adder 1-bit module 1. Okay, sorry, instantiation name. This is my original 1-bit full adder module name. Then the port list. Okay, so port list you have to write by yourself. Okay, you can go and check other videos that I have written how to do the structural modeling style. Okay, so M1, M2, M3, M4. This is known as module instantiation. Okay, so I can do this. Okay, I can instantiate any number of modules here. Okay, and whenever I'm going to synthesize it, so here 4 copies of 1-bit full adder will get generated. But I cannot write any other modules definition here, like inside the function or inside the task, we call some other modules. Sorry, we call some other task or function. That is also not acceptable in Verilog. Okay, so this option, it is wrong. A module can contain definition of other modules. It's not true. When a module X is called multiple number of times from some other module, only one copy of module X is included in the hardware after synthesis. So first of all, in Verilog, we don't have any concept of module calling. We just use module instantiation. So B option is also wrong. More than one module can be instantiated within another module. That is correct. Okay, we see here 4 modules I am instantiating. Sorry, here like one module I am instantiating. That is the 4 copies are generated. So let here you want to instantiate some mux or some half adder or some subtractor, you can do it. So next is, if a module X is instantiated 4 times within another module, 4 copies of X are created. It's also correct. After synthesis, it will create 4 copies of that module X. So here option C and option D are correct. Next, move to second question. What does the statement assign F equal to A and B or A XOR B signify? So first, let's understand what is this assign. Okay. So remember, this assign keyword, it is known as continuous assignment statement. Why it is known as continuous assignment? Any value changes in the RHS, immediately LHS gets updated. So here LHS should be of net type, net data type. Okay, and RHS can be of net data type or register data type according to your requirement. Okay, and this kind of modeling is used for combinational circuit. Combinational circuit, and it is known as data flow modeling. Okay. So now we will see option 1. Okay, so first is, a gate level netlist consists of one AND gate, one OR gate, one XOR gate. No, this is not a gate level netlist. Okay, so if you look at this, I can say this is data flow level modeling. This is not a gate level modeling. Gate level modeling means it should be like AND gate, then some output A comma B, then OR gate, then some output 1 C comma D. Okay, A and B, sorry, A XOR B, So this should be XOR output 1, A comma B. Next one will be OR, final output is F, then output comma output 1. So if it is written in this manner, then I can say that it represents a gate level netlist. So the option A is wrong. Okay. So next, a behavioral description of the function F. If I am thinking from digital point of view, then this describes this part, like RHS part. It describes the behavior of the F, output F. So it's correct. Huh? So next, a structural description of the function F. No, it's also wrong. Structural description means like this. Okay, it should be described in terms of other components or other models. So that option is also wrong. So a continuous assignment of the function realized by the RHS side to the net type variable on LHS side. This is correct. First one, it is continuous assignment. Okay. Then RHS side is assigned to the net type variable on LHS side. It is also correct. Okay. Left side, as I said, LHS must be of net type. So here option B and option D are correct. Okay. So next we'll move to the third question. Which of the following is not true for a register type variables? Okay. So we'll see there are normally two types of data type or variable. I can say one is net type, another is register type. In register type, again we have range, time, real, integer. Okay, mostly we use range type. Okay, so register type, this data type we can use for modeling combinational as well as sequential. Remember, net type means it's only a hardware connection between two components. So that is like a combinational. But register type, it can be a combinational, it can be a sequential depending upon your design. As we have seen, using always block, we can design combinational circuit and we can design sequential circuit. So whenever we are using always block, we use register type. Okay, so if you are designing a combinational circuit, then this register type will be synthesized into a wire. So as well as sequential. So when you are using combinational, so this register, it will be synthesized into hardware wire. Don't think like register type means it will generate always a storing element. No. So sequential means register will be synthesized into a storage element. Okay, so now we will go one by one. So first is it will always map to a hardware register after synthesis. No, it's wrong. Whenever I'm designing a sequential circuit, it will map to hardware register. But whenever I'm designing a combinational circuit, it will not map. So this option is false. Okay. It can be used in an expression or on the RHS side of assign statement. As I have already explained here, in the assign statement, RHS side can be net, can be register. So this option is true. Once a value is assigned, it will hold the value. It's also correct as it is a register type. So once you are assigning a value, it will hold the value till you are not assigning any new value. When you assign a new value, then it will hold that new value. Then D is none of the above. So this A option, it is correct. Means according to the question, okay, this is not correct. According to the question, this A option is correct. This one is only false. This one is true. And this one is also true. So next, moving to question 4. Okay, so for the following Verilog code segment, what will be the number of bits in C as deducted during synthesis? Okay, so that means after synthesis, okay, what will be the size of the C? Okay, so now we will see, so A size is 9 down to 0 means A size is 10 bit, B size is also 10 bit, integer C means C size is 32 bit. So A 10 bit, B also 10 bit, And C integer means by default its size is equal to 32 bit. So now next, AC equal to A plus B plus 1. Okay, so C equal to A plus B plus 1 means, okay, so 10 bit plus 10 bit. Remember, if I am adding two 10 bit values, then maximum its value will be 11 bit. Then here also I am adding some 1 bit, so maximum its value can be 11 bit. Okay. So now you just think, okay, I have defined that my C size is 32 bit, but it is just using 11 bit values. So after synthesis, remember your tool has that optimization capability. Now, whichever things it is not used, it will simply terminate those things. It will not use. So C is 32 bit, but I am using only 11 bit. So after synthesis, it will be my C size will be only 11 bit. It will just truncate, okay, or you can say terminate the other bits that I'm not going to use. It is like optimization. Okay, so it is clearly written during synthesis means like after optimization, its value will be 11 bit. But let your tool don't have that optimization capability, then it will be a 32 bit. Okay. Next is question number 6. Okay. So for the following Verilog code segment, if the initial value of IR is this much, okay, this is in hexadecimal, the value of data in decimal will be. So data is equal to this much. Okay, so it's just asking me, okay, data size is 4 bit. So after adding this, what will be my data value? Okay, so now first is D1 11 down to 8. Okay, so D1. Okay, so D1 equal to, okay, so first IR, let me write this question and step by step we will go. Okay, so remember hexadecimal means each bit it is represented by 4 bit value. Okay, that means 6 equal to 110, but it will be represented by 0, 1, 1, 0. 5 will be represented by 0, 1, 0, 1. So it is just keeping 31 down to 60. So this is 4 bit, 4, 4, 8, then 4, 12, then 4, 16. So here to here it is 16 bits. 16 means it is like 15 down to 0. So I can say from here to here it is 31 down to 16. Okay. So IR. So my D1 value will be equal to IR 31 down to 16 means this A, B, C, D. Remember each bit it is represented by 4 bit values. Is bit in hexadecimal. So it is like 15 down to 0. So 15 down to 0 means 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now let's. So it is D1 11 down to 8. Okay. So now 11 down to 8. Okay. So let's write it. Okay. It is 3 down to 0. Okay. This is 4 bit, 4, 4, 8, 4, 12. So now this B is my 11 down to 8. Okay, so if you are confused like this, you can just expand it in the binary values, then we can write it. Okay. So A means it is like 10. So 1010, B is 11, 1011, C is 12, 1100, D is 13, 1101. Okay, so now you can start from 0. This starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So now it is saying 11 down to 8. That means up to this. So it is like 1011. I can simply write 10. Okay, in decimal it is 10. Sorry, in decimal it is 11. or B. Okay. Then D to 19 down to 16. So now which one is my D2? Okay. So now D2 size is also 16-bit, but its index is different. Okay. So now its index is in this manner. It means for D2, MSB equal to 31, LSB is equal to 16. That means from like towards from right, I will start from 16. Like from D1, I started from 0, but for D2, I will start from 16. So now let's write first D2 value. This is equal to 3. 3 means it will be 0, 0, 1, 1, then 4, 4 means 0, 1, 0, 0, then 5, 5 means 0, 1, 0, 1, then 6, 6 means 0, 1, 1, 0. So now for D2, it is 16. It will start from 16 because LSB is 16, MSB is 31. So this bit is 16 bit and this bit is 31 bit. So 16, 19 down to 16. So 16, 17, 18, 19. So this value is my 19 down to 16. So this value it is like 6. Okay. So next is D2 31 down to 28. Okay. So D2 MSB is 31. So this is 31. This is 30. This is 29. This is 28. So it is like 3. Okay. So total my answer will be like, so what will be the addition result? 6, 3, D. Okay. So it will be like 8, 6 plus 3, 9. So 19. Okay, so if I'm converting 19 into a decimal value, then what will be the value? It will be a 5-bit value. Okay. So 19 means 16 plus 3. So 1, 0, 0. Okay, so let me check it again. So 6 plus 3, 19. Okay, so sorry, B is not 10, B is 11. So it will be 20. Sorry, I have mistaken. B means it is 11, A is 10. So it will be like 20. So 20 means 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, so I am getting a 5-bit value. But what is my data size? Data size is 4-bit. Okay, so it is 4-bit. So even if I am getting a 5-bit value, but the data is able to store only 4-bit value. So it will just take this 4-bit value and this value it will discard. So my final value of data will be equal to 0, 1, 0, 0. That is 4. So that is the final result. Okay, so here again I am saying D1 11 down to 8. So 11 down to 8 means this value. Okay, so here it is 11. So by mistake I have written it 10, but B means it is 11. Okay, so its answer will be 4. So we'll move to the next question. Consider the following Verilog model. Okay, so first let's look into this model, then we will go into the step by step what are the points. Okay, so module guess. So this is the port list. Data is my input, 8-bit value. Condition is input, 2-bit value. Output, it is range type, and result, and it is 8-bit. Okay, so output is range type means I am going to use the behavioral modeling style. Behavioral modeling style means I have to use the always block. So always iterate data. Remember, if in the sensitivity list you are writing any input values, okay, the sensitivity list you're writing labels. Okay, input values means in terms of labels. Then it can be a combinational circuit or it can be a latch also. If you are writing pos edge of clock, neg edge of clock, then simple it will be a flip-flop. But if here I am writing always at the rate data, or always at the rate clock, or always at the rate any input, okay, then it may be a combinational circuit or it may be a latch. So now if condition equal to 1, then next we'll see whether it is a latch or whether it is a combinational circuit. So if condition is equal to this much, then result equal to data. Condition is equal to 1, 0, result equal to data plus 1. Else if condition equal to 1, 1, result equal to data minus 1. Okay, so now here condition, it is a 4-bit value. Sorry, 2-bit value means it will have 4 possible values. So within, like from 4 possible values, I have just described only 3 values. What will happen whenever condition value equal to 0, 0? Have I described that? No. So if I have not described, so when condition is equal to 0, 0, then result will store its previous value. So as it is storing a previous value, so a latch will get generated. It will not be a flip-flop because I have not written pos edge. So a latch will get generated. Now we will look into the options. A combinational circuit will be generated. No, this is wrong. If all the if conditions are written, then only a combinational circuit will get generated. A sequential circuit with storage element will get generated. This option is correct. If synthesizer supports adder subtractor blocks, a combinational circuit will be generated. No, this is also wrong. Okay, so here a sequential circuit, if more precise, a latch. Sequential circuit means latch kind of thing will get generated. Why there will be a latch? Because this is an incomplete if else statement. So whenever condition value equal to 0, 0, I have not mentioned any options, so it will store the previous value. Next question. For the following Verilog code segment. Okay, so this question. Okay, so where 7 down to 0A, where B, S and B equal to XOR A. Okay, so B equal to XOR A means it will simple perform bitwise XOR. So not piecewise, like this kind of XOR operation only on A. So XOR operation, we know if even number of ones are there, then value will be 0, odd number of ones, value will be 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 number of ones are there, means odd number of ones. So B value equal to 1. Okay. So now it is first written A 4:3. So what is the value of A 4:3? So A equal to 1. Sorry. Okay, so A value is equal to this much. So 4 down to 3. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 down to 3 equal to 1, 0. Okay. Now these things, it is like a replication operator. It is going to replicate 3. Sorry, it is going to replicate B 3 times. So whatever it is written, it is going to replicate that for this much of time. So 3 B equal to B is replicated 3 times. So it is like 3 tick bit 1, 1, 1. So now this is known as concatenation operator. So it will simple add those things. So this value will be equal to. So first A, so it is like 1, 0. Next B, B means 111. So it is total 5 bit. So 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So we'll see. Okay, so 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So this will be the answer. Okay. So next, moving to this question. When does the $monitor statement in a Verilog test bench print the specified values? Okay, so now let's know about what is $monitor. It is used to print a statement in Verilog. It is executed in postpone region, or you can say end of the simulation. Next, whenever any value inside it, any variable value That it changes, gets executed. Okay. Now at a time step, only $1 monitor statement can be active if menu written, then last one will be active. Now we will see one by one. So at the beginning of the simulation, no, it's at the end of the simulation. Okay, next, when the $monitor statement is first encountered. Okay, so if you have written $monitor statement, then it will get executed. So when does the $monitor statement in a Verilog test bench print? Okay, so when it print the specified values, so it simple print the values whenever any value changes. So whenever value of any specified variable changes. So whenever these things happens, then it prints the value. Let you are not changing the value, then $monitor will not print any value. Even if it is encountered, it will not print. It will execute it only when any value changes. So C is the correct answer. Okay. So next question is, which of the following statements are false? Okay. So we will see one by one which of the following statements are false. So the assign statement implements the continuous assignments. This one is correct. The procedural assignment can be used to more structural designs. No, that is not correct. Okay. So procedural assignment means it is, see, whatever assignments you are doing inside always block, that is known as procedural assignment, means blocking and non-blocking. So procedural means it is like blocking or non-blocking. So it is like used for combinational, or we can say behavioral modeling. Okay, so here structural design, for structural kind of things, we have to instantiate the module. Okay, use it to more structural design. So structural design means inside one module, you are using another module, structural like things. So there I have to instantiate the module. So this option, it is wrong. For an assign statement, the LHS site can be either a net or edge. No, as I have explained before, for assign statement, LHS must be of net type. You can go here. So LHS is net type. So that is also wrong. Okay. So which the statements are false? B is false and C is false. Okay. Okay. So